Hello, in this video we will demonstrate how to connect WebTrit to a third-party hosted PBX or VoIP switch which has no API capabilities at all or has limited API capabilities which are not sufficient for our task. In our previous video available on our YouTube channel, we have shown how you can connect WebTrit to enable calling from web application, mobile application to a free PBX system which had API where we could retrieve extension data, validate that the user is allowed to log in or not. But what should we do if the system we want to connect to, it only offers VoIP interface, but it has no API available? In this case, WebTrit needs to know, should we allow this user to log in or not? Did they supply a correct password? How to get SIP username and password to actually place a call on behalf of the user to the real VoIP system, and so on. So what should we do in this situation? Obviously, changing this system may not be an option just yet. The idea is we have to create an additional component, an intermediate database, which will serve as user data repository. And the database is going to be available to WebTrit BSS Adapter. It can access it through native database API, which could be database driver for SQL databases, for NoSQL, or can be something else. And we will synchronize the data between the VoIP system and this user data repository. And synchronization can be automatical, can be manual, can be semi-automated. So there are multiple paths there. It all depends on which capabilities do we have for extracting the data. Also, the same approach would work for a typical deployment of a larger communication service provider, where we have a clear separation between their VoIP switch and BSS system. In this case, our BSS adapter will be connecting directly here. So this is theory. Now let's get to some real code and practice. Within BSS adapter supplied by WebTrit, we have a collection of modules which are hosted on the bss.dbs, and these are just classes which provide interface to specific type of database, which could be MySQL, could be MongoDB, and in our example we're actually going to be using File Store Data Store, which is a real-time cloud NoSQL database by Google. And there is a class called BSS Adapter, which extends the capabilities of our standard BSS Adapter class, and it assumes that we retrieve user data from external database. So it means there's a bit less coding for you to do. The only thing you would need in your subclass is to define where are the actual data sources and how to convert the data from a format which is used in the database, because it could be something used by the existing billing system or provisioning application, into the format which WebTrit requires. And in our example, we'll do some real implementation. We'll connect WebTrit to a 3CX PBX system. It's a popular PBX system with a lot of functionality on the call handling side. Unfortunately, it doesn't offer proper API to retrieve information about extensions and their passwords. So the solution we're going to use, there is a native functionality in 3CX which allows export of extension information with all the information we need. So we'll do the export into our data store, and it's a real-time NoSQL database hosted in Google Cloud, and then our BSS adapter. It will be fairly simple because the only thing it needs to do, it needs to map the mapping of various attributes between the naming used here in the database. We will follow 3CX format into the format which WebTrit needs and how it names, objects, and object attributes internally. So our goal for this lesson is to use a real live 3CX PBX system. Again, no API to retrieve extension data in real time, but we will export them into a CSV file, we'll import them into Google Data Store, and we'll take a look at the code of our BSS 3CX adapter, what it does and how it is implemented to allow proper conversion of the data attributes to support correct functionality. Let's go.